Hi, what's up guys? This is the next Forex Pro, and in this video we're going to be going over analysis for euro dollar, and I kind of want to start doing these. We'll see how this goes. If you guys like it, definitely leave a comment and give it a thumbs up, and I'll continue doing it. Otherwise, keep in mind this does go against what ICT mentions to not be doing Forex. I'm doing Forex because when I signed up for my challenge, um, I haven't really seen any companies that do futures uh, fund challenges, and I've always traded forex as well. I'm very familiar with it, and I mean I know these months are very slow, but anyways, like I said, I had already signed up for the for my forex funds, and they only do forex. Without further ado, um, if you guys are interested in the forex part, like I said, the concepts that ICT talks about, they still work for Forex, not just futures. However, it has been very slow, and I myself am very conservative. And anyways, without further ado, let's get into the nitty gritty. So I like to do top-down analysis of the market, and I do have color coding when it comes to adding my fair value gaps. Now, this is assuming you guys are already familiar with how ICT teaches. And let's go ahead and get started here. So, first we can start off with the daily, or excuse me, let's go with the weekly here. So, this is for euro dollar. Obviously, you're going to see a bunch of stuff here. And let me zoom in on this. So, the market had ran up into this fair value gap on the weekly area, and that's what I had marked down. This is my weekly level, and this pretty much extends all the way down. However, because the market had pushed up, I figured the market kind of consolidated here, was going sideways, and it looked like it was gonna get up to the top of it, and it did, right to the pip, as how ICT explained. This is really cool to see that. And so if we go back down to the daily, which is this one, you can start seeing that gap getting filled here, and that's also a fair value gap on the daily. And there it is right there, right? And so you can see actually the trade I took on Friday was this one here, even though I noticed this is actually one of the reasons why it gave me the confidence to take the trade, not just because of the news, but as how ICT says, you got to start building the narrative and building the idea as to why you're going to take the trade. It's not just, you know, pray and spray, right? Or the way you trade is the way you got to do it based on the concepts that ICT teaches, and it's not nilly willy or anything. And that's it. So, anyways, back down to the 240-minute chart. There it is again. The market came up, and I believe I was also looking to sell somewhere around here too, since this tip part I figured it's not going to get through. However, I never really got an opportunity here. It just continued going lower until, like I said, finally on Friday, it finally did get the opportunity, which I believe it was this day here on the 12th. But I was waiting on the 11th here. That was when I wanted to also sell, but I didn't get anything. Um, let's see here. So going on with today, Asia session. Actually, Sunday through Asian, it was consolidating. London session, the market pushed lower, and you can see here on the 60-minute, it looks a lot more cleaner. It created a fair value gap on the 60-minute. And by the way, I do color code these, so this is a color coding on my end here, and so you can see that. There's my 60-minute. I go ahead and I draw it in time. By the way, when I wake up in the morning, this is pretty much like that. So I'm anticipating, because the move is lower, it's still going to continue going lower. That's my analysis, my anticipation of the market, and so you can see that. Now, if we drop down to a 15-minute time frame, you can see that happening. And then there was news around 5:30, and then there was also news at around 7:50. That was actually Uh, there was news at 7, and then obviously 7:50, which was also unexpected. And so you can see I also draw a few lines here. Now I'm not going to get into these, but this is well, I'll just talk about it. This is before New York market. You can see the market going up, up, up. However, what sucks is that when it got into this area, this is exactly into the New York opening. I didn't see any signal to get in. Unfortunately, the market did not give that particular entry that ICT talks about, and so I didn't do anything. And you know, sometimes market gives it to you, and sometimes it doesn't, right? And so all you can do is just wait and continue to wait. There's no need to be aggressive. Like I said, I myself am very conservative, and if I just don't see that opportunity, I'm not going to take it. Okay. And so let's go to this. I actually do have my 30-second that I've been watching, but even then in here, it still didn't really do anything. However, you can see that it does present some fair value gap areas that could have been taking opportunities, but that's just something I'm watching. I'm not really doing anything with it, but it's really cool to watch it. I do, however, use the 2-minute and my 5-minute to place trades, but like I said, nothing happened. And so on my 15-minute, I noticed that it had taken out liquidity here, and then it took out the so it took out buy side and sell side liquidity on both sides. And so I knew, because this fair value gap had been rebalanced, came down, I figured it was going to go right back up. I drew my Fibonacci extension tool, and so this is really, I only use it for the 50% retracement. I figured the market was going to come either in here or in here, and I was going to be watching my 2-minute and see if it does get there. And so you can see that it did actually came down in here and in here. It created a what? Relative equal lows here. And that was perfect the way it was setting up. And so all I need to do is wait for this to come up in here into this area, and then present that specific entry that ICT teaches. Because once again, keep in mind, guys, that this is fractal, right? That's how he says the way it happens in the higher time frame all the way to the lower time frame, it's the same thing, right? And so when this happens, I really love it, because it just gives you that extra confidence that it's developing the way the analysis that I'm drawing in here are getting set up. And so that was really, really cool to see. However, as you can see from here, that's how ICT says with the beauty of hindsight, it did not go up, right? It didn't go all the way up as where I wanted it to, which was above this 50%, or anywhere in this fair value gap, anywhere that I really wanted to see that the market go all the way up, especially because there was news around 7:50. Now I know I don't trade after this time, but there was an orange news. There was a speaker coming out, and so I figured, why not? I'll go ahead and wait for this. I love this setup. I love how this was setting up, and I had a little bit of time. And so unfortunately, nothing happened. It did not have the strength to push all the way up. No setup happened. However, it did happen in here. At this point, though, I usually don't take these type of trades. The reason why, because they're not, how do you call it? At least it's not to my liking. And these are the moments where you have to look at what you're doing in your rules and your own rules, and pretty much just follow them. Right now, I understand what ICT says, that after every green candle, when it's going down, the market is not going to pass that if we're going lower. However, those are still things that I'm getting used to. I still love it when the market just does what ICT says, and to be honest, that's all I need for me right now, right? So I stick to my plan, I stick to my rules, because that's what works. And so even though this could have been something to look at, I just didn't do it. So this but this definitely was an opportunity here. Let me go ahead and draw that out right here. Here was the fair value gap. So remember, there was news at 7:50 right here. There was the move that went up. See, I at least would have loved to have seen this get through up here, and then here's this big old candle here. That's displacement, what ICT talks about. You extend that in time here, this fair value gap, and you can see there's the entry here. You could have gone in, stop above here or here, and then you can see that the market came lower. But anyways, this is how I analyze the market. This is how I would rather wait for an opportunity up here. And I like to see, that buy side liquidity get taken. Okay. And so, like I said, this is just me. This is how I follow my rules. And anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the analysis for euro dollar. And until then, I'll see you later.